Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Jamin's Daily. We are going to do episode number 8 of Eat That Frog, the 8th chapter, 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and get more done in less time. And the last time we did chapter 7, and chapter 7, at the end of the chapter, chapter 7 was obey the law of forced efficiency, which means you just needed to. There's never enough time to do everything, so you just had to be more efficient to do the things that matter the most, which are the frogs that you got to eat because you've made the list and you've narrowed it down. All right. Once you've narrowed down the frog, but okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. At the end of the chapter, we always have some homework. So at the end of chapter 7, it's telling you that your most powerful thinking tool for success is your ability to discriminate between one priority and another. So we've been talking about how you can't be satisfied doing the simple things and knocking out those tasks off your list. You got to eat the frogs, which are the harder things that you put off, that you procrastinate. All right. So you're discriminating against these small, mundane tasks that you've even identified, you've categorized, you discriminate. So, but in order to do that, what this is saying is that you have to take a few moments each day and sit quietly where you cannot be disturbed. And during this time, you relax and just think of your work and activities without stress or pressure. That's the only way you can really get into these lists that you create for yourself and focus on them. They live in your mind. You got to spend time contemplating and pondering them. Okay. So I've done this. We've done this. And I'm telling you, I have only benefited from reading this book, folks. And look how thin this book is. You could read it in a single day, okay? And in a single afternoon, really. So chapter 8 is prepare thoroughly before you begin. Okay, folks, you got to prepare thoroughly before you begin, no matter what level of your ability. You have more potential than you can develop in a lifetime, according to the book. According to James T. McKay, bringing you a quote. But this chapter is really short. I can basically read it in a minute. It says, one of the best ways for you to overcome procrastination and get more things done faster is for you to have everything you need at hand before you even begin, folks. All right. When you're fully prepared, you're like a cocked gun, an archer with an arrow pulled back taut in the bow. You just need one small mental push to get started on your highest value task. This is just like getting ready to prepare a meal. And this is the analogy that I like. When you're making a meal, you got to have all your ingredients, got to get everything ready. It's much easier and you're more effective when you have everything out prepared. It's the same thing when you're cooking a frog. Think about your frog. You got to cook it. Your task that is before you, you want to be prepared. You want to have everything laid out. Everything pertaining to this task, whether you need to have certain documents at hand, you need to have certain emails to reference, you need to have certain contact information. All that should be there so you can just boom, 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 run through it as you don't want you don't want there to be new tasks. You don't want other tasks to come up. You don't want to be working on this and then you're like, oh, I don't have this. And now you have this new task of having to obtain that, So you want to make sure you have a clear desk. You need to have an inviting workspace so that you can, just like in chapter 7, so you can meditate and ponder there. All right. Fact is, if you like where you work and you like your workspace, you will be more productive there. Okay. It says in this chapter 8, it says the most productive people take time to create a work area where they enjoy spending time. All right. One of the great techniques for overcoming procrastination or eating frogs is for you to get everything completely ready to work in advance. And it's all about, it's like nesting. And if you like your little home, you have your little area, and you get everything prepared because you like being there, and it just is conducive to execution for getting things done, folks. All right? So I'll leave you with this. It says here, recently, the author is telling us about a story. He says, recently, in the Los Angeles Times, they sent a reporter out to Los Angeles, right, on Wilshire Boulevard to interview passersby. And when people came along, he asked them one question: how is your script coming? And 3 out of 4 passerbys replied, almost done. But the sad fact is that almost done probably meant not yet started. So don't let this happen to you. Get started, create a list, get prepared, have your nice work area, and you'll be surprised how more effective and more things you get done. Uh-oh. What's the matter? Why is James crying?
He wants to come out.
What happened?
He wants to come out.
He wants to come out? Well, tell him we got to go. Say bye. Say like and subscribe.
Bye.
All right, folks. So stay tuned. That's chapter 8 of Eat That Frog. You remember, you need to have a nice place to really get things done. So you clear out your desk, plan ahead, get everything ready in advance, and you'll see how much easier it is to eat the frog. How much easier. It tastes better because you have your recipe laid out, all your instructions on how you're going to cook it. While you're cooking it, you're going to cook it better because everything is already laid out. You're prepared, okay? To eat the frog. Till the next time. Gotta run. Kids are calling me. Stay tuned. Jamin's Daily. Facebook, YouTube.